of Courage Asia. I am Lilian, and together with
I am.
me,
I'm Carol. Hello, everybody. It's good to be back.
hi. Yeah. Um. Right, Carol. Today
Yes.
you are look very casual. I can see that thick lips on your t-shirt.
Yeah, I'm just wearing a graphic T-shirt. Like being mom. This is like my mom wear at home T-shirts. Yeah, slacks.
Yeah. So, leading. Leadership includes being mother, right? Being a mother.
Yes.
Motherhood is part of leadership.
Yeah, and it is very very comfortable, right? This is something that is my go-to, you know. So yeah, comfortable, and also it kind of ties in with what we're going to be discussing today. We're going to be talking about habits. So it's just
Yeah.
something that what I would gravitate to as a habit, in terms of dressing more comfortably.
Mm,
Mm,
right. And yeah, before we jump into our topic for today. Yeah, we
yeah.
just want to welcome our audience. If you are watching this for the first time or watching this on a replay,
Mhm.
welcome to Voices of Courage Asia. We are from Class Living. It's a social
Yeah.
enterprise that focus on empowering women. And as a result of our mentoring programs and the support from our community, women are actually gaining confidence and clarity in their personal and
Mhm.
professional life, actually. Yeah. So many are breaking their patterns of like self sabotaging behaviors and getting unstuck from their fears, self doubt, and limiting beliefs, right? And living a life of courage, purpose, and significance. I think,
Yes.
yeah, that is something that we have been doing for the past few years now. And yeah, that's why we want to advocate the renewing of mindset,
Mhm.
cultivating healthy habits. Yeah,
Yes.
which is what we're going to be talking about today. So,
Yes.
talking about cultivating healthy habits, yeah, let's talk about habits.
Yeah, habits, good habits or bad habits.
Yeah, healthy habits, unhealthy habits,
Mhm.
right? So, what are some of the habits, and what are some of the pains, of because of your unhealthy habits? Yeah,
Yeah.
let's be very vulnerable here.
Yes.
Okay, one thing about our channel and one thing about our team is, we are very open, right? Yes,
Yes.
because we believe that vulnerability is not weakness. It takes
Yes.
courage to be vulnerable.
Mhm.
Yes. So therefore, yeah, here we go. We're going to be as vulnerable as possible to talk about our, when we share about our unhealthy habits, the audience out there, you will resonate, because yeah, I think we are not the only
Yeah.
ones that
Yeah.
has healthy and unhealthy habits, right?
Right. Well,
Yeah.
we are only human, right?
Mm, that's
Mm.
right. So, what are some of because we want to tie this back to leadership, right?
Yeah.
And as female entrepreneurs, and like you said, today you are a very mom, you are, and that's leadership as well, right? Being a
Yeah.
parent is by default a leader.
Yes.
So, what kind of habits do we want to impart or be the role model for our children, in the
Mm.
home front and
Yeah.
for the team in
Hmm.
the work front?
Yes.
Mm, you want to kickstart that and
Maybe I'll just kickstart by saying, my ideas of leadership,
mm,
then, and my
mm,
idea of leadership now. Okay,
mm-hmm.
well, leadership to me in the past when I was a lot younger, I was brought up to believe that, being a leader, you have to rule with an iron fist, right?
Ooh.
That, a leader means someone with a lot of authority, and
Mm-hmm.
then being a leader is like you have to use some kind of a force, like in order to get things done.
Wow.
So I
Mm,
had this fear of leadership when I was
mm,
growing up. I couldn't imagine myself being that kind of person. And I fear being under the leadership of someone who's like this, who's behaving like a bit of a tyrant. And
mm,
I also thought that in order to be a leader, I have to
mhm,
behave this way as well, which is not being true to myself. I
mm,
can't. I can't. So, and then now I realize that leadership means a lot of things, especially for a woman. And
mm,
as you rightfully say, Lilian, being a leader is, being a mom, that you have to take the lead by be the first person to do it. Whether
mm,
if you're doing it with fear,
Mm-hmm.
right? But you still have to do it, and then whether if you're doing it, without having confidence as well. Yeah, and then to be very frank, motherhood has thrown me to a place where a lot of times, I actually act out of fear. Yeah, but I still have to do it. I really want to set a good example for my children. And a lot of the times, I don't feel confident, doing what I'm doing, but I'm just gonna just wing it and hope for the best.
Yeah, I think we are all. I mean, nobody is an experienced parent, especially when it is for the first time. But
Mm,
having said that, every child is different.
yeah.
So to me, being a parent, uh, every child to me is a new beginning of parenting and leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So because like I have two kids, right? Both of
Yeah.
them are so uniquely different, and I
Yeah.
can't use the same style on one person with the other. Yeah. So, and we have to find our footing, right? We have to find
Mm,
what works and what doesn't work with them.
yeah.
Yeah, it's so different. And
Yeah.
same thing, it ties back to the team as well in your workplace. Every
Mm-hmm.
one of us is so uniquely different. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you may have come from a working environment that is, like you said, probably, iron fist style, for example.
Mm,
Yeah. But then
yeah.
it may apply to certain group of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it may not go well with another group. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I think yeah, why did we go there?
It's about leadership.
Yes, yes, yeah. So habits. Okay, let's come back.
Habits.
Let's
Habits. Let's
come
come
back
back.
to habits. So, what are some of the habits that we want to model and lead by example for
Mm,
our children and for our team? So
yeah.
we cover two areas, lah, home front
Mm,
and
and
in
work
at
front.
work.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Mm,
Some
can I
of the
think of an
habits.
example? Yeah.
For me, well, the first thing that popped in my mind is definitely consistency. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Mhm.
So that would be, I guess, for something that I want to make sure that I'm consistent, so
Mm.
that I can set a good example.
Mm.
As a leader.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think for me, the one example that I can think of is cultivating habits, reading,
Mm,
cultivating the habit of reading. So
mm,
bedtime stories, yeah. So I think many of us as mothers, I think we started that even before the child is born, right? We start reading, we start reading to the child before they are born, right? But I didn't go to the extent.
yeah. Me
Um,
neither.
I mean, I heard of
Yeah.
some very very diligent, yeah, in doing that. But
Yeah.
I salute them.
Yeah.
But I only started when the child is born,
Hmm.
um, and when the child probably actually toddler, yeah,
Yeah.
toddler time. Then I
Mm,
started reading. I started with those cloth books, those books that are
mm,
made of cloth, tactile, so that they can feel and touch and insert, the bunny into the hole or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. So those yeah. So I started with that, and it has become a habit. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that is definitely a healthy habit. So much so that they cannot sleep without bedtime stories.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and no matter how tired I am after a day's work, right? I just want to like hit the pillow and just go to bed. But they will like
Mm.
present a book right in your face. Story, story. Yeah. But I think that is a good habit. That is a good habit.
Yeah.
And because of that, it also encouraged me to read, for myself
Mm,
when I wanted to embark on my entrepreneurship journey. I have to read
yeah.
up a lot about business books, and all kinds of books, right? We have to,
Yes.
yeah. So that's an example of a healthy habit. Okay.
Mm.
Mm, let's move on to the unhealthy habit.
Oh yeah, the dreaded part. But we have to be real. So let's do this.
Mm, okay. I start first,
Okay.
all right. For my unhealthy habit is whenever I feel overwhelmed because so many things to do, right? there's so many things to do, and when suddenly I feel very overwhelmed, I will look for escape. I will escape.
Mm.
I need my rabbit hole. I need to like go into my hole and retreat for a while. Yeah. So some of the ways that I retreat
Mm.
is either I just escape into the nature, right?
Yeah.
I can go and run and just spend, instead of doing, so it's actually procrastinating, right?
Mm.
Another term for it. Yeah, instead of doing what is important, I go and do something else, which can be a healthy thing that you're doing, right? Escaping
Mm-hmm.
into the
Yes.
nature is
Yes.
healthy, right? But I'm not prioritizing. I'm escaping, right?
Yeah.
And another unhealthy escape would be like Netflix. Yeah,
Mm.
right. So you just go Netflix. I just watch a bit of Netflix. Then after that, we come back and do the work. Yeah. So that is an unhealthy habit that you want to be able to catch yourself and bounce back as fast as you can. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
about
Well, for
you? How about
me,
you?
for me, books are my Achilles heels. To be very
Mm,
frank, okay, I read to give myself knowledge,
mm,
but at the same time, right, I also read to escape. Like
mm,
you, when I feel overwhelmed, I will tell myself maybe it's time for me to take a break, and
mm,
I will get immersed in books. Yeah,
mm,
but then as I go on, I just keep flipping the pages. Then I forgot about doing what I'm supposed to do.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it is a healthy habit to cultivate a good having this reading habit on a daily basis. But I do find myself, using the book as an excuse to escape, and so I have
Mm,
to keep catching myself and say, okay, I need to set a time. This is the time that I take a break, and then that I need to set an alarm to go back to my task.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we want to highlight, bring up to our this awareness.
Mm.
We want to.
Yes.
What's wrong with my tongue today? Yeah, we want to bring to the awareness of of our audience
Hmm.
that yeah, be very mindful of the activity or the behavior that you are engaging, the activity that you're engaging. Like you said,
Yes.
escape, going into the nature or reading a book can be good habits,
Yeah.
but be careful when we tend to use it
Yeah.
as an escape.
Escape.
Ah,
Hmm. Hmm.
that's where we want to be very careful, to be able to
Yeah.
be aware and know that, hey, we are actually escaping, right?
Hmm.
So that's something. So
Yeah.
um, what's the outcome, the result of that habit?
Mm.
Things are not done, right?
Yeah, things are not
Mm,
done, and then for me, I will beat myself up, for not doing it, and
mm,
that is actually a bad thing to do, and then it became also a bad habit and a healthy one because I'm self-blaming.
mm.
Mm.
Yes, yeah, and go into self blame. Yeah, I think
Yes.
that's that's something common between us. Yeah, and then after that, you feel so guilty and all
Yeah.
that nonsense, and then work start piling out, and then I don't know about you, but I will go
Hmm.
into this intensive work mode, right?
Yeah.
I'll be like intense, and it's very unhealthy because I'll probably burn the midnight oil, and I'll just work throughout the night just to catch up, play catch up, and get the things done, because the whole day
Mm.
you've been procrastinating, right? And then
Yeah.
and the nighttime you just like just just drive yourself and get things done, and then
Hmm.
the body suffers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the next
Hmm.
morning you wake up with migraine. Yeah, so we are highlighting all this, so that our
Yeah.
audience can identify as well. Maybe you find that, hey, I have not been able to sleep, I have been always working throughout the night. Yeah,
Mm.
then you want to do a self check. What have you
Yeah.
been doing during the day?
Mm.
Yeah. So again, everyone is different. Yeah, everyone escape different ways, using
Mm.
different ways to escape when you feel overwhelmed, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
you
there
know,
are
the
those
the
are some
point the
examples.
point when you brought up about the body, right?
Mm.
And then the body is what we require the body to be in tip top condition, to keep us going.
Mm.
right? So having a good habit to maintain health is also very important.
Yes, mental
Yeah.
health, physical health,
Mm-hmm.
emotional health, right? That's why we actually also have a healthy habit in our community. If
Yes.
you still do not know, we actually meet 7 a.m. every morning to renew our mind so that we can lead our body, right?
Yes.
So that is the 7 a.m. We do a 7 minutes workout, and then that's handling the body, right? Get the body moving first thing in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then we
that's
do a
important.
mindset check-in, right? To
Mm-hmm.
frame our mindset in a positive, to be positive. Yeah. We choose
Yes.
our being and all that, right from the get-go of the morning. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's a good habit. That's
Yeah,
a good
very
habit.
good habit. Yes.
And what's the outcome of that? What's the result of good habits like that?
Oh, well, the result is tremendous for me. It's, so it actually sets the tone and how
Mm,
you want to lead and start the day.
mm,
Yeah. Because the daily mindset checking, we talk about, what is our identity. So what we are making a decision how we want the day to pan out. Yeah,
mm.
that is important, especially as a leader.
Yeah, I think that's
Mm,
powerful. That's really
yeah.
very powerful. Yeah, because if you are someone who um always analyzing and worrying, especially, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
always go towards the negative side of thoughts. Yeah, this
Mm,
morning check-in activity or habit is really very powerful, right?
yes.
Uh, Changes happens when we make small steps, right? Yeah,
Mm,
a needle shift can cause a big impact, in a longer term. Yeah.
yeah. Like the
So
butterfly effect.
yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's like, like, I mean, I always picture either you fly or travel by sea.
Mm-hmm.
A little shift in that angle, yeah, you will end up somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we want to make sure that the little things, the
Mm-hmm.
little behaviors, the little habits that we have in our life is directing us towards our goal
Mm-hmm.
and not distracting or deviating away from our goals. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. And then having said that, if we make a slight like 1 degree shift on a
Mm,
daily basis, based on the angle and the trajectory,
mm.
we could be actually changing the course of our life towards the better as well.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Your
Yeah.
life can be totally transformed just based
Mm-hmm.
on your daily habits, and you change of the little things. Like I said, all the habits. Habits are small things in our lives,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Another habit that
Yeah.
most women may be uncomfortable to talk about, and
Mm-hmm.
that is money.
Mm. Money
Finances
habits.
and money, yes. And your
Yes.
habitudes, we use the term habitudes, right?
Yeah.
Money and your habitudes. What are your habitudes about money and finances?
Mm. Yeah, well, a lot of my previous habitudes about money were all, I would say, being passed on from parents and from the environment. Like a certain negative belief about money,
Mm,
terms like oh, money doesn't grow from tree. Things like this that actually affect my relationship with money,
mm,
and yeah, and that affected the way I spend. It
mm,
also affected when I have money, I didn't know how to keep it.
mm,
Yeah, so cultivating good money habits is knowing for me is I've learned throughout all these years how to save, and how to actually track my expenses.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Talking about, like, you mentioned about some belief system beliefs
Yeah.
that we grow up with. Yeah. I mean, I think we are all should be familiar to the phrase, filthy rich.
Mm.
Why does being rich got to be filthy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So with that seed being planted in from
Mm-hmm.
young, we may grow up thinking that, oh, being rich is something negative,
Mm-hmm.
right? So whatever you earn, you make sure that you just spend it or give it
Yeah.
away. Even better, give it away. Do charity. So because, yeah. So I mean, we will not go into the detail of that because that's
Yeah.
a deeper topic about that. But just want to and bring up this point that our belief system
Mm-hmm.
affects
Mm-hmm.
our behavior, which is
Yes.
our habits, right? The habits that we have. So how's your like you mentioned, how's your relationship with money, how you
Mm-hmm.
behave, and how you deal with money. Um, that has a lot to do with our belief system, right?
Yeah.
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 So
And
we
I think we will go in deeper into that, at the Her Courage Business Network
yes.
launch, as well as all the fellow mentorship that we are going to be offering as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think during, if you still do not know, we are having a Her Courage Business Network meeting on the 5th of October,
Mm-hmm.
right? 5th of October. And you can actually check out the website, hercouragebiznetwork.com. All the information are there. We're going to learn from leaders who are walking the talk,
Mm.
right? Who are having a healthy mindset,
Yes.
healthy habits
Healthy
about
habits.
money, about finance, about fundings. Especially if you're a female entrepreneur, you're
Mm-hmm.
aspiring entrepreneur, yeah, a business owner, startup. You want to learn more about fundings and finance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this is the best. This is a rare opportunity to glean from the wisdom, insight, experiences, and knowledge from our two mentors that's going to be sharing with us, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So that's Her Courage Business Network for you, happening on the 5th of October,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can attend on site. Of course, safety management measures apply. Um, or you can join us via Zoom, right?
Yes.
So yeah, Joe, go visit the website and find out
Yes.
more about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's come back to the habits.
Yes. Money habits.
Yeah. So I think, of course, there are a lot of other habits that we can talk about.
Mm.
Maybe one last one before we wrap up the session for
Yeah.
today. How about relationship habits?
Wow.
This is
Relationship
impromptu,
habit.
right? I did not tell
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
Relationship habit. Well, for me, the first thing that comes into my mind is definitely, the way I communicate with others. It's actually a habit.
mm,
Having a good habit of connecting and and not try to second guess. I guess this is me. I mean, I've learned throughout the the years is in order to have a good relationship, then you must be courageous. To seek answers and clarify.
hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's for me.
right. I think for me, one of the bad habit. I'll start with the bad habit first.
Okay.
One of in the past, I mean, I've increased in my mastery over this,
Mhm.
overcoming this bad habit. But occasionally, very very occasionally, I still fall into that trap. And the habit of wanting to just shut down,
Mm.
and don't talk. Yeah,
Mm.
don't express myself, and to just suppress my emotions or my thoughts and my feelings, my opinions. I just
Mm.
like, no need to voice out, no need to share, it, and that affects the relationship, because my
Yeah.
husband or whoever that I'm having that
Mhm.
the relationship, right, be it a parent and child relationship or friends, they are not God. They cannot read our minds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I have the habit of just not happy, keep quiet, sweep it under the carpet. If you have the habit of sweeping things under the carpet, please,
Mhm.
please, please address this habit. Yeah, because it's going to really affect your relationship. Yeah, not just your
Mm.
spouse, the loved ones, family, like your friends and colleagues as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
Correct. And then
So,
for me, that is what you said is definitely fall under the part of communication, and then being true by stating your voice. I mean, it's like really, take it out and then tell people what is it that you're expecting, what you're unhappy about.
mm,
Yeah, and that is important. I've learned throughout the years that I in the past I did have this same like you, I had this bad habit of just shutting down. So, you
mm,
know what? What's the purpose of fighting anyway?
mm,
I mean, just by stating my mind, am I gonna get what I want? I might as well just keep quiet about it and then start fuming. then
Mm,
that affects, it creates a barrier between um, my relationship with the other party.
right. And I
Yeah.
think if we bring it to the work front, right?
Mm,
At work, if we don't speak up, if you have
yeah.
the habit of okay, that habit of not speaking up could be driven by certain fears, right? Or
Yeah.
certain things that you are very uncomfortable with. Like for example, for some
Mm,
they just want to avoid conflict, right?
mm,
So I just keep quiet and maintain the peace. I don't say too much,
yeah.
But if you have that kind of habit, or it could be the opposite side, right? Everything also must voice out, right? Everything also must go in. Instead of avoiding conflict, it's like you challenge, confrontation, So yeah, you want to be mindful. I mean, just be aware about what is your habit, whether you are very confrontational or you are very avoiding.
Mm,
And for those who are very avoiding, what are the results? What are the results that come out from this habit?
mm,
If you have great ideas, for example,
yeah.
and you have the habit of just keeping quiet, two things will happen. One, your team will suffer because you have just deprived of everyone of that brilliant idea that you have that could
Yeah.
have salvaged the situation or could have won that project, you know. Yeah. And the other thing is when you have brilliant ideas and you don't voice out, you have the habit of keeping it to yourself,
Mm,
opportunity is going to bypass you most of the time because out of sight, out of mind. Your boss will not know about you, right? They will not know about your brilliant idea. And when there's a promotion opportunity that comes along, will you be considered? Will they even notice about you if you have the habit of being invisible and being voiceless? You get what I mean? Yeah. So this could be some of the outcomes, of a certain negative habits about communication and relationship building. Yeah. Why are you smiling? Is that something that you resonate with? Oh, I cannot hear you, Carol. Are you muted or? Oh, I can't hear you. Okay.
Can you
Okay.
hear me now?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, well, I had to unplug my speaker. I have no idea what's going on. But anyway, so well, I totally resonated with that because that was who I was, you
Mm,
know. Yeah, exactly. I just want to, I don't want to bring unnecessary attention to myself or fear that people might shoot my ideas down, thinking that yeah. Then I also felt that if what if I'm wrong? Having this fear, what if I'm wrong? What if I say this and I'm wrong? Then I'll be so embarrassed, right? So then that kind of like, in fact, restricted me from from showing that I can do I can do better. I can
mm-hmm,
contribute to the team in a more significant way.
mm,
Yeah, it took me a while, and it took me a lot of personal development, to find my voice and to be
mm,
confident and to take that courage to voice out.
right.
Yeah. So I'm just want to say, for those ladies, everybody who's listening to this, if you are feeling this way, it's all right. Help is on the way. And that's the reason why Class Living is doing this. We're having this chat show and we're having this podcast just to encourage you and say that hey, there's actually help.
Mm.
We'll be able to help you too.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, for the team here, we resonate with that because we went through that process. We suffered the consequences of unhealthy habits,
Mm,
and we also received and being rewarded for the healthy habits that we cultivated as well. So as
indeed.
long as you want to take the courage to step out, and make that change that you want to see in your life, yeah, like you said, help is always available. Just take the
Mm,
courage and reach out for help, right? And we are here for you. So just reach out to us, and you can join us at our monthly, what you call that, Her Courage Business Network, or just tune in with us here on the
yeah.
channels, right? Either on the podcast or the live chat here on
Yeah.
YouTube and Facebook Live. Yeah, we are here every Tuesday. Yeah, cultivating good habits also, right? Sharing,
Yes, indeed.
sharing our experiences. Yeah, whatever there's that we know, yeah, we are
Mm-hmm.
taking this step of courage also to share with you, right? So you can resonate with those things that we highlighted. If you by now, if you listen, there are two things that are very interconnected,
Mm.
right? Habits are often driven by a belief,
Yeah.
right? And just now you mentioned some, and it can be driven by a fear, right?
Yes.
Fear of judgment, fear, different types of fear. Yeah. So of course, time is very limited. We won't be able to delve deeper into these subjects. But
Mm-hmm.
if you do need support and you do find that, hey, I do realize that I have certain unhealthy habits that I need to address. Yeah,
Yeah.
reach out to us, right? Just go to
Yes. Please do.
classliving.com.sg. Yeah, and reach out to any one of us. Our team will be most gladly to support you in your journey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right. Carol,
Yes.
do you have in mind what's the topic for next week? I haven't checked.
I haven't checked as well. I apologize.
No
Uh,
worry.
yes.
Mm. So anyway, we have lined up the whole list of
Mm.
topics that we're going to share with you on this channel. So join us, right? Join us every Tuesday, 12:30, right,
Yes.
on this channel without fail. Yeah. So I just managed to open the file and let's take a look at next week's topic.
Yeah. I'm
We're going to
actually
talk
while you're
about
talking about this,
priorities.
when you're doing this, I'm also checking it at the same time. Yes. Priorities. Yeah. There you
Priorities.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
hey, like for those who are actually wondering like why aren't we like so called maybe prepared and all, end of the day, it's just like we just want you to know this is candid, this is real, we are just being authentic. Yes.
actually, we are prepared. We had a whole list of
List.
topics
Yeah.
already. Yeah. Just not
Yes.
prepared now to mention next
Yeah,
week.
it was just like, just slipped our mind. So hey, we are not perfect. So at the end of the day, yeah, we're not perfect. So don't expect anything, don't expect perfection from us because we aren't and we're not trying to be at all.
So here you have it, as real, as authentic, as vulnerable as we can be, but we are still progressing, right? The most
Yes.
important thing is you're progressing in life, you are taking that courage to move forward, right? Take baby steps if you have to, take a leap when you know the opportunity comes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whatever action that you take, make sure that it is moving forward. Okay,
Mm.
okay.
Yeah.
So I am Lilian, and
I am Carol.
yeah. So signing off for today, and we will see you next week back on Voices of Courage Asia. All right. See
All right.
you.
See you. Bye bye.
Bye.